Okay, so again, this is probably going to sound really weird to you guys. Let me just share with you something. I'm trusting and that these mistakes are part of God's plan right now. So I'm going with it, even though I don't like them. I'm really excited to share this with you guys right now. But usually when that happens, something keeps stopping me. It's because I'm actually like glad about it later because I'm like, oh wow, it wasn't ready, or it was I posted it on the wrong channel or something or whatever the fuck. Wow, sorry, it's hard to even fucking focus right now because of everything. But compared to most days, wow, I'm just fucking grateful for the fucking clarity for once. I feel like I can't do this feeling justice. I can't explain it enough to people who might be struggling. I'm sure, I'm more than 100% positive that there is hundreds of thousands of people dealing with this shit right now in silence, in solitude, because they can't turn the voices off. And I mean, like, people that can read minds, people that, angels that were sent here. Like, you guys remember Bruce Almighty? How he, like, can't turn it off. And so he goes and makes a computer and puts it all inside. Yeah, that type of shit, except without the computer. Like, imagine not having a logical way to, like, organize things in your house, much less in your mind now because of all the attacks on it. And even the physical attacks have made it complicated to, like, have basic things like fucking, I can't go to the store and buy a fucking lighter these days. I can't fucking do basic shit, dude. That was basically my problem with this woman. We got into it, but and I'm gonna keep ranting, by the way. If you guys are like, those people that are like triggered by like, oh, this isn't about anything important, like, you're not gonna like my channel because it's gonna be this way for a while. There's a lot that needs to come out. As far as our psychology is changing, as far as humans are changing, evolving spiritually as well. What the fuck? My paper's all wet. How did that happen? That's weird. It looks like something cried on it. It's not. That's so fucking weird. Okay. Is my roof leaking? Okay. Whatever. Where my vents are. Oh, another great thing to keep in mind. Nothing fucking surprises me anymore. So if you guys just like see me calm when like there's a fire or like some like crazy shit is happening, it's for a reason. It's not because I'm like okay with that shit. I'm just, that's my fight or flight at this point now. I force myself to think about things in the moment and utilize every millisecond of time available to do just that. We don't have time to feel emotions about it. That shit comes later. There's a reason that shit comes later. Have you guys noticed? There's people that do this all the time. At funerals, they don't cry. It's because they train themselves throughout their lives not to react, not to just mindlessly react to anything that's like all inclusive. They don't even react to their own thoughts without purposely, consciously thinking about it. A very organized way that they've devised somehow in their minds. This is powerful to do. And a lot of people, it's funny, like I don't spend a lot of time focusing on what people think if they're not exactly like me. Like I focus on like how I do things, because like I feel like, I don't know, I'm just better at focusing on that. It's more interesting to me. But like, my assumption, I guess, would be that I used to think these people are just fucking gaslighting, but now, like these days, seeing the actions that they keep taking, it's amazing to me. I'm like, wow, maybe it's possible that they really don't know the difference. They don't know that they could do better. They don't know that this even is better because they've never tried it. They've never had like a situation in life that has forced them to figure it out. That's great. Awesome for them. That means they've lived a generally happy life. But like, I'm not gonna, it's not an icebreaker really saying like, oh, you've been clearly you've been tested thoroughly, my darling. No, like, but some people have, and we notice that about them. And the ones that haven't been tested through the fire, so to speak, I used to have this idea of them because I was surrounded by hypocrites. I was, so immediately if someone didn't understand me, I'm like, well, I fucking take, plenty of time to understand people. So why the fuck can they not even try for a second to understand? Like, clearly they're not wanting to. And the more that I continue to learn every day, the more it keeps reinforcing the idea that I don't know anything. That feeling, that thought that makes me feel things, it's just one little tiny thought in this vast, infinite world of knowledge. And it's the animal in me. It's my animal mind. It's faster, but it's also small. I'm speaking in figurative terms, of course. It's small in the sense that it does one thing. It just regulates. It feels emotions, and it tries to like process everything in how would you call it? In conjunction. The fuck? Am I saying things? It's basically integrated with the other part, which is like turns away from emotion and focuses on the doing, planning, the future, the past, the data that we've collected to use it for future planning. So one doesn't really work at all without the other. And so it makes a whole lot of fucking sense why things are the way they are. That's like the easiest way I can put it. And that's what allowed me to like forgive a lot of people that were like just fucking mindlessly like hateful and like assuming, not unassuming, that were assuming, that just like never fucking tried for a second to understand because it just inconvenienced them to be around somebody who was unlike them, right? Because it points out all the time their weaknesses, just like it did with me. If we're around certain friends would gravitate towards them, and it would still be divided, and certain people would gravitate towards me more, and it would make them like hateful towards me. So it was like, but that's just our nature, right? It's a natural separation. It's not anything to be like worried about or like envious of. It's just it's going to eventually resolve itself. It's just part of the process. That's mainly what I wanted to get to, was like the point of it all. It's still there. It's more clear than ever. It should be, if we're trying to focus on it. There's no reason for people to be afraid and panicking, because, and I'm not saying like people aren't going to feel things. We never stop feeling, of course, especially when like all these tragedies are happening. But I mean, as far as like looking into the near future, it's going to serve us to think positively right now more than ever, because it's like I said, the two parts of the mind working together. You can't plan. You can't expect good things to happen while you're staring at a negative past, like stuck on it, right? That part I don't know how to say correctly, but for those who have ears to hear, accept. As Shanique always says, accept. This girl, you guys, by the way, I've been watching this girl so much since I don't know, for a long time. And it's to the point where like she's getting on my nerves. And I'm like, wow, I see it now, like how that's a good thing. When people start to like hit a nerve, it's like, why do you fucking do this all the time? And you realize, oh, it's not them that's doing that. It's me. It's my interpretation of them. That shit's fucking deep and spiritual. It's my demons doing that. Because her, I don't even know her personally. I've never met her. How can I possibly say something like, oh, this person irks me? It doesn't irk me. What she's doing is allowing me to reflect in my demons, or maybe reflect my demons in her, whatever. You know you get what I say, man. So that just takes me back to like doing the mental work, having the conversation with my future self, noticing the little details, making note of it, coming back to it later to reinforce what we learned. I think they say it's like a 7-minute interval or 7 seconds. Like if you repeat certain information in 7-second intervals, like it allows you to remember it faster or something. It's really weird. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. I'm probably wrong, but I do it anyways when I remember. Oh, also, by the way, every time there's like a whole new creative, like, I don't know, what is it, job market? Is that what they call it these days? It like seeps into society very slowly. So it's kind of like part of something I just like always been set on that I want to do. I'm letting somebody move my shit. So weird. Anyway, it's just something I'm set on doing. I don't care if I'm homeless and broke my whole life as long as I'm doing it. And so that's one of the things that like I'm trying not to let it irk me, but it really fucking irks me, dude, when people try to like give unsolicited advice, especially when you have to understand though, like, because you probably agree completely, when someone's asking for advice, people give it freely, right? It's always available, and it's great advice. So if you can imagine, people just never gave it unsolicited. Wow, man, we would save ourselves a whole lot of fucking annoyances and time and whatnot.